Ollie, it finished honours even. What did you make of it?
Well, I think two teams that played in Europe this week. I think it shows a little bit in the first half, not the greatest, and I think second half we push on, and if that Stretford end is full, we might get some help and get that ball over the line. I think we pegged them back, created half decent opportunities, a very good block by Thiago Silva there, and great save by the keeper. He's made a couple of fantastic saves against Marcus. So all in all, a good defensive performance, and we created enough big chances to, or at least the two big ones, that could have given us a win. You alluded to that first half, or the first part of that first half in particular. Do you think both teams were a bit hesitant almost? Well, you know, we've been to Europe, both of us, this week, and played. Of course, we all remember what happened to us after last time we won in Paris, so that was important for us to show that we can come against a good team. And yeah, we started sloppy, but I think after about 20-25 minutes and the rest of the game that we kept more possession. We created some pressure on them without too many big chances, but the ones we got were big ones.
Do you think the way they set up made it more difficult for you?
Well, every team's got their own different ways, and you know that system there with three forwards, narrow, and three centre backs. It's always hard to play against, and they played well. They played it against us last season in the FA Cup and beat us. Today, I thought we were the closest to winning the game.
What's the biggest positive from today for you?
Well, you have a clean sheet. You have some pressure. You've stopped the home run with defeats. We wanted to win, of course. Of course, you want to win a game of football at home, but I think it's a solid performance when you think of the week we've had. We've had a very good week with 2 wins and a draw.
Holders. So, you know, for me, the referee can make the decision. The VAR is there, and it's very difficult sometimes for the VAR to say yes or no. But for me, I encourage more to the referee here to go to the monitor. You know, in any situation, I think they are the main. Tonight, Martin Atkinson was the main referee, so he has to take the main decisions, and the monitor is there on the side for him to help. So, you know, sometimes it's 50-50. I felt it was. So why not go take 20 seconds to review it? I think for me it's a little improvement from the VAR that could improve a lot moving forward.
As a defender, would you concede though that those type of grappling incidents do happen a lot in penalty areas?
Yeah, it happens, and it's football. You know, I don't say every time there is a contact it should be a penalty. No, you know, far from that, because, you know, especially here in England, always the belief of strong, contacts, physical contacts. You know, unless you are far from the goal and you don't have the intention to play in the ball. But I think I think football, and especially in the Premier League, the big league, and with the great players we have, always we have to see to improvement. And it's not a critic. Far from that. I think we can all help together to make a better league.
Very interesting thoughts from the Chelsea skipper there, Ryan.
Yeah, great analysis. He's saying what we said at half-time, why doesn't the referee on the pitch go over and have a look on the monitor? He's actually not saying it's 100% penalty either. He's just saying let the decision go to the referee who's in charge, and he needs help, because you can see from Martin Atkinson's position, he can't see that. He's behind the players and he can't actually see the arms around Azpilicueta, but
isn't that exactly why VAR was introduced?
Yeah, so I don't understand why this isn't looked at, but then the Marcus Rashford is looked at 3 or 4 times. So there's just no consistency, which is what frustrates fans, what frustrates us and players.
And Michael, if he'd seen that angle at the side of the pitch, Martin Atkinson, are you in any doubt he would have pointed to the spot?
No, I'm in no doubt at all. I think he would have pointed to the spot. I think that decision was borderline between the VAR saying to Martin Atkinson, that's a penalty, give it straight away, or go and have a look. It was a borderline between the two. The one thing it cannot do is say nothing, let's just brush it to the side, there's nothing to look at there. It has to be one or the other of those. I think he should have sent him to the monitor and said, it's not 100%, but you need to look at this one. And I've no doubt whatsoever, if he had done that, he would have pointed to the spot.
Huge talking point from that game at Old Trafford. Here's the former Premier League referee Dermot Gallagher, as always. So, Dermot, the obvious question to ask you, why didn't Stuart Atwell in VAR recommend Martin Atkinson going to the monitor?
I think it's solely because the ball's in play and he cleared it too quickly, Steve. I think he looked at it, he cleared it very quickly, he didn't scrutinise it. I think when you look at it in depth, as we have, there's no doubt whatsoever if Martin Atkinson is sent to the monitor, I think he would make a different decision. What I would say, Steve, even if he sticks with the on-field decision, it will be readily accepted more. I think what it does raise a good talking point, Steve, in so much as you talked about the one at half-time with Rashford, it was looked at a few times. I think when the ball's dead, as the Rashford one was, which I don't think is a penalty at all, it's much easier to look at it over and over again. This one, because it was looked at in play, it's almost as if you've got to make a decision instantly. And
what are they told to do, Dermot? What's the guidance on that then? Is he under pressure to make that quickly? We understand it was within 3 seconds.
No, he's under no pressure, Steve, but I think when he's looking at it, when the ball's in play, I think the VARs feel that they've got to make a decision a little bit quicker. And he did. He looked at it quickly, he cleared it quickly. And as I say, I think if they'd have scrutinised it, if they'd looked at it as we did, and this is the angle, and I think this is the angle. If he'd have said to Martin Atkinson, look, as Michael said, I think it's 50-50, I think you need to go and have a look. This is Martin's view. It's a lot more difficult, this, because you can't tell as well. The other side, I think if Martin had seen it, he would have certainly come to a different decision.
Dermot, I totally agree with you in terms of when VAR is making the mistakes, it's with mitigating circumstances, i.e. the game is continuing, or as we saw last week with Virgil van Dijk, there's a decision to be made before that actual decision. But if everybody's aware of that, then surely we should be getting the message through to VAR to say, right, doesn't matter about time, even if the game is still going, it doesn't matter, we've got to get these right, because the only ones, or the majority of the ones are getting right at the moment, is when, as you say, there's an instant, then the ball goes out of play, and then we get time to look at it. Of course, that doesn't happen all the time, so surely that message has got to be getting across now.
I think, Michael, you've hit the nail on the head. I think that's absolutely right. And I think one of the learning points, because we learn every game, every day's a school day, as they say. People look at this when they go to camp on Thursdays, when they meet over the Zoom, look at this and how do we arise at this? Is it the right process? And tweak and tweak and tweak, week by week, so as you get it better. It's got to be a work in progress, Michael, because we've got to keep learning, we've got to keep evolving, we've got to keep moving forward. And as you say, we've got to do the best to get what people expect is a correct decision.
Dermot, thank you very much indeed. That is the view of the former Premier League referee. Here's the view of the Manchester United manager, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer.